There were only two somewhat feasible arguments about Trump being better than Hillary Clinton from a progressive angle at the very least during the 2016 election, and they were flimsy at best, in my opinion. One was that Clinton was a warmonger and Trump wasn't, even though he said he was going to take out ISIS's families and friends, but I get the angle that he at least pretended to be a little isolationist. And then there was the argument that he'd be better on trade, and this was the more credible argument because Trump railed against NAFTA and the TPP during the election, and that was a huge part of why many people in the country, in the middle of the country specifically, who are most affected by those trade deals, voted for him.
Your husband signed NAFTA, which was one of the worst things that ever happened to the manufacturing industry.
That is your opinion.
You go to New England, you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, you go anywhere you want, Secretary Clinton, and you will see devastation where manufacturing is down 30, 40, sometimes 50%. NAFTA is the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, but certainly ever signed in this country. And now you want to approve Trans-Pacific Partnership. You were totally in favor of it. Then you heard what I was saying, how bad it is, and you said, I can't win that debate. But you know that if you did win, you would approve that, and that will be almost as bad as NAFTA. Nothing will ever top NAFTA.
I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country.
As you can see, Trump vowed to get out of the TPP and negotiate new, improved trade deals. And as one of his first acts in office, he signed an executive order pulling out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was really a symbolic move in itself. Congress hadn't even approved the TPP yet, and anti-TPP sentiment was growing, making it politically dangerous to vote yes on that bill. But still, TPP was dying, right? And Trump shot the dead horse? Trump is the hero for the working man who was affected by trade deals? No ifs and ands or buts about it? Here's a headline from the other day. Mnuchin says Trump willing to negotiate U.S. return to TPP. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said Tuesday he had begun to have very high-level conversations on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and rejoining the regional trade pact is an option for President Donald Trump. Trump repeatedly attacked the TPP deal on the campaign trail and pulled the U.S. out of it soon after he took office early last year. However, last month he expressed openness to rejoining if the terms were improved. Mnuchin told the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in Washington that this was significant. So Steve Mnuchin, known as the foreclosure king for his especially revolting behavior that led to the financial crash and contributed to it, a corporate crook, is assuring the Chamber of Commerce, no. Don't worry, he will come around. He is just a massive liar who just needed people's votes in swing states, but he really is as much of a big money, corrupt corporate prostitute as the rest of us. Sorry, that gives prostitutes a bit of a bad name. Japan has spearheaded a drive to keep the pact alive among the remaining 11 members, and the resulting agreement is said to be signed on March 8th. Mnuchin said the U.S. would focus on bilateral deals first before reviewing its stance on the TPP. Japan has repeatedly said it's not interested in renegotiation, and any such request would probably not be welcomed by other nations. Still, Japan's former TPP minister Akira Amari said in an interview Tuesday that it might be feasible to add new clauses on topics not currently covered if U.S. concerns cannot be addressed outside the TPP framework. Meaning, we're not willing to renegotiate, but we're willing to renegotiate. Frankly, they can probably dupe Trump into rejoining the same exact deal if they just flatter the guy enough. He doesn't know the details of the TPP. And Mnuchin will be more than happy to oblige. By the way, this comes a week after 25 Republican senators sent Trump a letter begging him to get back into the TPP. You know, the exact kind of Republican senator that Trump promised his primary voters he would be nothing like. Now he's seemingly giving in to them. We encourage you to work aggressively to secure reforms that would allow the United States to join the agreement, the senators wrote. Increased economic engagement with the 11 nations currently in the TPP has the potential to substantially improve the competitiveness of U.S. businesses, support millions of U.S. jobs, increase U.S. exports, increase wages, fully unleash America's energy potential, and benefit consumers. Basically, please, Mr. President, our donors really want it. Some of the big names who signed the letter are Senators Lindsey Graham, John McCain, Jeff Flake, Cory Gardner, Chuck Grassley, alleged moderate Lisa Murkowski, Joni Ernst, and Senate's Finance Committee Chairman Orrin Hatch. The Finance Committee is the committee that primarily negotiates trade deals like this. So Trump has been hinting that he will re-enter into the TPP for a while now. He said this in January. "I would do TPP if we were able to make a substantially better deal," Trump told CNBC at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. "The deal was terrible. The way it was structured was terrible. If we did a substantially better deal, I would be open to the TPP," he said. Up until those comments in Davos, the White House has consistently expressed interest in forging only bilateral agreements instead of more comprehensive deals. So now I think that Trump has officially broken all of his major campaign promises. He's likely getting back into the trade deals that he railed and railed and railed against. He has created the swampiest administration filled with lobbyists and corporatists, many of whom have recently had to resign in disgrace after he said he would drain the swamp. He didn't prosecute Hillary Clinton after chanting "lock her up" with his supporters, which a lot of his base really wanted. He escalated in Afghanistan, not removing us from the wars like he said he would. His budget cuts from Medicare and Medicaid substantially, and he promised he wouldn't do so. The list goes on and on and on. The con man, that's him. He is a con man of the highest order, and more cons are coming.